श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजम् अप्रमेयम् सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्न आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि. This is Uttara Kanda. We are doing 113 chapters. Valmiki's prayers. Kujantam Rama Ramiti Madaram Madarakshanam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Munisimhase Kavita Vanacharinaga Ashwinman Rama Katanatham Koni Ati Parankatim Yapipan Satatam Rama Charitamrita Sagaram Triptastam Munimande Prachet Samakarmasham Vaidehi Saitam Suradrumatali Haimi Mahamandape Madhya Pushpaka Asane Manimaye Virasane Sustitam Agri Vachati Prapanjanasre Tattvam Munipyapanam Vyakantam Bardadavi Padivritam Ramam Bhaje Shyamalam. We should always listen with a mood of gratitude whenever we listen to Valmiki Ramayana and whenever we recite Valmiki Ramayana. I was laughing because my son, my 2-year-old son, was almost reciting the same shlokas as I was. So we've already gone through, we've almost done with the first part of the first topic of Uttara Kanda, that is the history of the Rakshasas. So in that we completed how Ravana went to Kuvera, he went to Yama, next he went to Varuna, and last he went to Indra, and Indra was able to subdue him, but Indrajit, Meghanath, captures Indra, and he brings him, and that's the reason why his name is Indrajit. And Brahma is the one who gives him this particular title of Indrajit, and he also Indrajit also chooses how he is going to be killed, and that is when he is going to conduct the rites to Nikumbala Grove. That time, the enemy that prevents his rites is going to be the one to kill him. So this is where we stopped yesterday. So let's continue with this. So Indra obviously became, Indra was obviously affected by the fact that he was captured. And then Brahma says that he once created a very beautiful woman known as a Halya. Halya means defect. Hal means there is no defect. She was so perfect. And he gave her to sage Gautama for safekeeping. And after that prescribed time, sage Gautama returned her to Lord Brahma. And therefore, Lord Brahma thought that, okay, he has that restraint of the sage. And so, he says that, okay, Sage Gautama, you please marry Ahalya. Indra saw how beautiful Ahalya is, and he wanted her for himself. So he disguised himself as Sage Gautama, and he raped Ahalya. And Gautama comes in, and he said that that desire shall spread amongst the mortals as well. And whenever a person commits this crime, half of that sin will go to Indra, and the other half to the perpetrator. So we have to remember how terrible this particular crime is. And whoever attains the position of Indra should know that his position is not secure. So you think about Indra's position. Every time one sage does a lot of tapasya, or every time one asura does a lot of tapasya, Indra is always worried that they are after Indrasana. Indra is always worried. So just because he is in the lofty position as the as a ruler of the celestials, as the king of the celestials, it doesn't mean that his position is secure at all, and that's all stemming from this. Then he cursed Ahalya that she is not going to be the single most beautiful person, and he also says that when the Ashrata's son Rama sees her, then she'll be purified. And when she offers hospitality to Lord Rama, that means that when she does some service to Lord Rama, then her sins would all actually just go away, and she would return to sage Gautama. So this curse is slightly different from what Vishwamitra had mentioned in Balakand. Balakand, Vishwamitra had said that Indra's genitals would just fall off and he would become a eunuch, and Ahalya would become invisible. And over here also the invisibility, it's in Vishwamitra does not say that Gautama cursed Ahalya to not be the only beautiful person in this world. That's not mentioned over there. So that's why there is a slight difference. As well as Vishwamitra had said that Ahalya did not know that it was, I'm sorry, Vishwamitra had said that Ahalya knew that this is not Gautama, whereas over here, Agastya says that Ahalya did not know that it was Gautama. There is actually no difference between these two. It's either she knew, it's quite likely that she did not know, but during the process she knew it, and then she did not stop it or anything of that sort. So so that's why there is no difference. So basically Ahalya was cursed, and that's it. And Brahma is and then Brahma told Indra that because of the because of that curse, that's the reason why Indrajit was able to overpower him, and now he has to conduct a Vishnu sacrifice. And when he is purified, he can return to heaven. Indra conducts the Vaishnava sacrifice, and then he goes back to the heavens. Now, Rama wants to know, see, fine, Ravana was very powerful. Ravana did go ahead and he did try to wreak havoc across multiple people. And so he said, wasn't there a single Kshatriya that could stand up to him? Wasn't there any king that could stand up to him? And Agastya said, yes, there is one. So there was a beautiful city by the name of Maheshmati, and that resembled Amravati. It resembled the city of the Devatas. So the people of Maheshmati were known as Hayahayas, and the king of the Hayahayas was Kartavirya, or he's commonly known as Arjuna, or he is known as Sahastra Bahu because he had 1,000 arms. Sahastra Bahu. So 500 arms on one side, 500 arms on the other side. And then one day he goes to river Narmada. So it's quite likely that Maheshmati was somewhere around Narmada. Okay, so Ravana also goes over there, and he wanted to fight the king, and he was notified that okay, Kartavira Arjuna is over there, and he wanted to conduct some prayers for Lord Mahadeva. He bathed in the water. He collected excellent flowers to worship the golden linga. By the way, this is the only place where it is mentioned that that Ravana worshipped Lord Shiva. This is the only place. The previously when he lifted Kailasa, he worshipped those. He did sing something in the praise of Lord Shiva, but that was because he was trapped, and it was completely it was like a tit for tat. I pray, I'll pray you, you rescue me. It was that was it. But over here, he's praying to Lord Shiva without any ulterior motive. But so this is the only place where he prays to Shiva. There is no other place where he does. Um, uh, so so Arjuna was with his wives, and he wanted to show how powerful he is. So with his 1,000 arms, he was able to almost like create a dam across the river, and so he obstructed it. So the river water obviously has to flow. The river obviously flows. So that water, because it was not able to run its course, it flooded the banks. Then Ravana said, "What is happening to this water? I want to worship Shiva. What is happening?" So he sends Shuk and Saran, and they find out the cause of delay and relay this information to Ravana. And they did. And then Ravana goes to Arjuna, and then the ministers say, no, 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 you cannot talk to Arjuna right now, because he's with his wives, he's inebriated, and all that. So this is not the fighting time. He's in this very playful, lovely mood, so do not do that. So but still, Ravana is fighting with the ministers of Arjuna, and then a few of them tell Arjuna, this is what has happened. Ravana is here. The king, he cannot really stand it. So he takes a mace and he comes to Prahasta, defeats him. The other ministers run away, and then Ravana and Arjuna fight a terrible battle. Arjuna is victorious. He binds Ravana, and he carries him to his city. Then Sage Pulastya knows that his grandson has been captured, and he comes to Mahishmati, and because Sage Pulastya is one of the Prajapatis, Arjuna is willing to listen to him, and Pulastya says, "Can you please free my grandson?" And Arjuna listens to him, and he frees Ravana. And Ravana returned home, and then he decided to harass the other kings. Then soon he came to Kishkinda, and when he came to Kishkinda, he challenged Vali. So Tara, Sushena, Sugriva, all of them told Ravana that Vali was aware on prayers, and no one could emerge victorious in battle against Vali. Nobody could do it. So uh, Sugriva, when he met Lord Rama, he told him that he doesn't know the location of Ravana. He told him that he doesn't know the location of Ravana, and it doesn't look as if Ravana introduced himself over here in a very big deal and said that I'm from here, I'm the king of it. It doesn't look like that. He just came in and he challenged Vali, and therefore Sugriva said that no, 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 Vali is not here. He's on his prayers. And Ravana says, where is he? And he Ravana went to the southern ocean, and Vali was engaged in prayers. Ravana wanted to capture him, but Vali trapped him in his armpit and jumped from southern ocean to the western to northern to eastern, and all that. And Vali was very fast, and by the time he finished all his prayers across the oceans, Ravana was like dead tired. He returned to Kishkinda, and then Vali said, "Okay, Ravana, you can go. It's fine." So Ravana said, "Oh Vali, you actually bested me, and now I want to be your friend." And so Vali and Ravana, they swore an oath of friendship in front of the fire. And Ravana spends a very happy month in Kishkinda, and then he returns to Lanka. Then this is very important. Rama is very okay, he's pleased and he's listening to all of these stories. And then finally, he comes to the crux of the matter. He says, I agree that Vali and Ravana are very great, powerful heroes, but Hanuman is stronger than Vali and Ravana. Hanuman is stronger. And then he says, Hanuman was the one who jumped the ocean. Look at the courage that he displayed in the battlefield. So why didn't Hanuman help his friend Sugriva when without a kingdom, without his wife and all that? Why didn't Hanuman just help Sugriva by killing Vali? So at that time, Agastya says, yes, I agree. Hanuman has no equal when it comes to strength, intellect, and velocity. Hanuman has no equal. And he was actually born in Mount Sumeru. He was born in Mount Sumeru, and he was born to Kesari and mother Anjana. And one day his mother had gone off to the forest and he was very hungry. So he thought that the sun is a ripe fruit. And so he leaped thousands of yojanas to reach the sun. So the devas, danvas, yakshas were all surprised because no one could even imagine that such a speed can exist. And therefore they thought that, oh, so if he is like this when he is a baby, how powerful is he going to be when he becomes an adult? Vayu blew cool. The sun did not burn him because of that sweet innocence. The sun does not burn him. But now Rahu says that he wanted to eat the sun on that day. See, when Rahu eats the sun, that is known as solar eclipse. When he eats the moon, it is known as lunar eclipse. And he will obviously regurgitate the sun and the moon after a little while. And that's when the eclipse is over. So all the Vedic scriptures state that Rahu is the one that causes the eclipse to take place. Okay, so the modern science says that when the when the sun's rays fall on the moon, and the moon therefore blocks the sun, that's when we get the solar eclipse, because the moon is blocking the sun. And when the earth is I mean, you get the point. It's one thing or the other, and therefore this is when the earth blocks the sun's rays, and therefore the moon cannot really get it. That's when we get lunar eclipse. This is what science tells us, but this is not true, because according to according to the Vedas, the moon is further away from the earth than the sun. So first it is the earth, and then we have the sun, and then we have the moon, then Mars, then Jupiter, like that it goes. And of course, in the days of the week, we first say Sunday, then we say Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we don't say Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So technically, somewhere, some part of our brain knows that the sun is closer to us than the moon. That's why we say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's just as simple as that. So Rahu is the one who causes Rahu is the one that causes the eclipse, because when we just think about the model wherein first it is the moon, then it is the sun, and then it is the earth. Then then that one shadow falling on the other, it doesn't really work that way. It really doesn't work, and therefore we've got to be very careful to know that Rahu is the one that causes the eclipse, and this is proven in our Vedic scriptures. So Hanuman, he just threw Rahu away. And then Rahu thought that, okay, this baby is so powerful. So now let me go to Indra and complain. So Indra says, okay, fine. I understand that this is not that this monkey is really very colossal. So let me do something. And he takes his vajra and he hurts the hanu, or the jaw of this baby monkey. And Hanuman falls on top of a mountain. Now Vayu is very angry because his little baby was hurt like this. So he removes the air from the world. So without the air, all the living entities were really suffering. They were suffering a whole lot. And so the Devatas and the Gandharvas, they asked Brahma to somehow or the other rectify the situation. And so they said the only way to do that is to make sure that Vayu is happy. So they all go to where Vayu is, and Vayu was actually holding his dead child. And they were moved by pity. So Brahma breathed new life into the baby, and he said that this is going to be a great devotee of the Lord. And all the devatas, Indra, Surya, Varuna, Yama, Shiva, all of them give him immunity from the weapons. Brahma says he will not be affected by Brahmastra, Brahmashiras. Shiva says he won't be affected by Maheshwarastra. Indra says he won't be affected by Vajrastra. He won't be affected by Suryastra. He won't be affected by Yampash. He won't be affected by Varunapash. So all of them give this baby, sweet little baby monkey, immunity from all of their weapons. And we already saw in the end of Kishkinda Kand that Jambavan says that at this time the devatas also gave Hanuman Swachanda Maranam boon as well. That is not mentioned by Agastya, but we know that that is also there because Jambavan says so. Then all the devatas, they gave him immunity, and then Surya says, when the time comes, I am happy to be the teacher of this wonderful child, and he gives him a portion of his resplendence as well. Then Indra is the one who named him Hanuman. Hanu means the one with a broken jaw. And after that, they blessed the baby and they all left. So Hanuman's names before this, one of the names was Sundaram, the one who is very beautiful. That's why we have Sundarakand. The other was Anjaneya. That means the son of Mother Anjana. We can also think of Kesari Nandan and all that, Vayu Putra. All of those names are also there. But the name Hanuman was given to him by Indra. Then Hanuman, say, imagine how much power is there in one naughty little baby, and he grew to be a very mischievous child, and he used to play sweet little innocent pranks on all the sages. So these sages don't get angry, but one sage just said, "May you forget your awesome power." And only when you're reminded of your great power will you remember. Will you remember? And then it was time for him to study. So Hanuman, see, even without remembering his awesome power, Hanuman kept on flying from here to there. He carried Rama and Lakshmana on his shoulders and brought them to Sugriva. He was always there for his friend. So Hanuman did a lot, even without knowing that he was supremely powerful. He did do a lot of work, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So now the sun travels from Udayagiri to Hastagiri. Udayagiri is a rising mountain, and Astagiri is a setting mountain. It's from Udayagiri to Astagiri. Once again, we shouldn't think that the sun is stationary and the earth is the one that is moving. No, the sun also moves. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the dimensions of the chariot of the sun. There's the wheels of the chariot of the sun. Srimad Bhagavatam gives this level of detail. Srimad Bhagavatam says these are the different speeds of the sun. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, if you read this, you will get all of this information. So if anyone is thinking that I am not speaking the truth, I enjoin you, please go to Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto. You can see the entire movement of the sun. I think it's chapters 19, 20, 21, 22, something is somewhere in that section. You will see the movement of the sun. And I didn't write Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedavyasa did. And Vedavyasa is the literary incarnation of the Lord. So whatever he says, that's the final. So the sun cannot just stop doing his duty. So the sun moved from Udayagiri to Astagiri, and Hanuman ran backward, because you shouldn't show your back to your guru. You shouldn't do that. That is not polite. It is very impolite to do that. And so Hanuman ran backward. So you can think about the velocity of the sun when it goes from the eastern mountain to the western mountain. Hanuman jogged backwards. So his face was always in front of his guru, and he jogged backwards. And he learned all the scriptures while Surya was continuing his daily routine. Surya cannot just stop rising and setting. No, that because he has a duty to fulfill. But when he did that, Hanuman, okay, Guru, you continue to do your duty. You continue to just move in this chariot. Let me jog backwards. And within one day, just one day, it took Hanuman one day to learn all the Vedas, the Vedangas, and everything. It took Hanuman one day. How amazing is that? And despite knowing this, some people say, oh, Hanuman was a nitwit. Hanuman was just an animal. He learned everything within one day. And I just want to bring about one very important point as well. Does anyone remember who is Surya's guru? No one? Who is the guru of Vivaswan? In Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Krishna says that he was the guru of Vivaswan. 4th chapter. And Krishna is teaching this knowledge to Arjuna. And guess what? Hanuman was there in Arjuna's chariot, and Hanuman listened to his guru's guru as well. He listened. In Bhagavad Gita, only Arjuna was given the opportunity to ask questions and represent us and ask questions to the Lord. Hanuman was not given that opportunity. um, because the Lord has different, he has different things ordained for each bhakta. So Bhagavad Gita was it's Krishna Arjuna Samvade. It is not Krishna Arjuna Sanjaya Veda Vyasa Hanuman Samvade. No, it is Krishna Arjuna Samvade. So at that time, Krishna wanted only Arjuna to have the opportunity to ask him questions. But let's not forget that Hanuman was one of the people who listened to whatever his beloved Rama had to say. Arjuna was right over there. His guru's guru was giving the knowledge in summary. He was right over there. And he agreed with everything that Krishna said. He agreed with every word. Because he himself has said, Krishna said, Mata Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. There is no truth superior to me. Hanuman has also said, there is nobody who is equal to Rama, or greater. There is absolutely no one equal to or greater than Rama. He has said that. Isn't that the same thing that Krishna himself was saying? Mata Parataram, there is no truth superior to me. So Hanuman just sits down, listens, he enjoys Bashpa Paripurna Lochana with tears pouring from his eyes. He was just listening to his beloved Rama recite the Bhagavad Gita, and that was it. But he received that knowledge from his guru. Vivaswan is a bona fide disciple of Krishna, and Krishna gave Vivaswan this entire knowledge. Whatever we read in Bhagavad Gita, it was the summary of all the Vedas. And he gave that, Krishna gave this knowledge to Vivaswan. Vivaswan gave that same knowledge to his beloved Hanuman. And within one day, Hanuman learned all the Vedas, the Vedangas, the Shastras, Upanishads, everything. He learned everything. So this is why it is very irksome to me when someone says, "Oh, he was just a animal. He was just one animal." No, no. Look at the intelligence. Look at the power. Look at the radiance. Look at the radiance. In Sri Rama Parivar, 10 to the power of 67 monkeys, more than that, served Lord Rama. Only Hanuman gets to stay very close by Lord Rama, Sitama, and Lakshmana. So that means there's something spectacular is there with Hanuman. There's something spectacular about him. So, so then Sage Agastya said, after he received the knowledge, he became best friends with Surya's son, Sugriva. And because of the curse, Hanuman did not understand that he was more powerful than even Vali. He really did not know. And when it was necessary for Hanuman to exhibit that awesome power so that he can cross the mighty ocean and he can reach Lanka, find Sitama and all that, at that time Jambavan, who knows this, Jambavan is very wise. Jambavan is very wise. He's very old. He's very wise. He knows all of these stories. And even when Hanuman himself had forgotten something, Jambavan remembered, and he knows. What does he say? Uttishta Harishardulla Langayasva Maha Arnavam. Sarva Shastra Tattvagnu, you know all the Shastras. Why are you Sarva Shastra Vidam Vara? That's what he said. Veera Vanara Lokasya Sarva Shastra Vidam Vara. And so you know all the Shastras. Go, leap, arise, O lion like monkey, and leap over this ocean. This is what Jambavan says. So he's aware of Hanuman's awesome power of everything. And that's the reason why he's just reminding him. He's just reminding him. And Agastya says, there is nobody who can match Hanuman, Not even Brihaspati. Vachaspati is also his name. Brihaspati is known for his amazing speaking capacity. His amazing speaking capacity, because as it is, the Devatas are really good in everything. And on top of that, he is the guru of the Devatas. So Brihaspati is excellent in speaking, in counter demands and all that. He can return the phrase. He's just perfect. Agastya is saying that Hanuman is even better than Brihaspati. He is better than even Brihaspati. And one day he will become Brahma. See, Brahma is the highest position that a Jivatma can attain. The highest position. So if I think the criterion is that we don't sin at all for 100 lifetimes or something like that. I think that is the criterion. It's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva says this to the Prachetas, so I think it comes in the 4th canto. And I think it is no sin for 100 janmas or something like that. And at that time, one Jivatma can become Brahma. One Jivatma is eligible to become Brahma. So the highest position in the material world that any Jivatma can attain is that of Brahma. So this is yet another proof that Hanuman in Valmiki Ramayana time was not an incarnation of Lord Shiva, because in neither place is it mentioned that he was the incarnation of Lord Shiva, as well as Shiva is not a Jivatma. Shiva is above a Jivatma. Yeah. Jiva Tattva is below Shiva Tattva. And therefore this is yet another proof that Hanuman is not an incarnation of Lord Shiva in Valmiki Ramayana. Maybe in another Puranic time, maybe it is true, but in Valmiki Ramayana's time, it is not true. It is not true. And this is the conclusion of the origin of the Rakshasas and the Vanaras. So now Lord Rama is very pleased. He's very surprised. And then he says, whenever I conduct sacrifices, I am begging all of you to please come over here and grace everything. So they're all very happy. The Vanaras, Sugriva, Rakshasas with Vibhishana, the kings and the counselors. So many kings had come in. We are going to see them in just a little bit. Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, all of them are just staring at Rama. They're just staring at Rama, because Rama is so mesmerizing that they cannot stop looking at him. Then afterwards, it's time. Agastya and the other sages go, and the sun sets, and Rama goes into his inner chambers. So now we are going to go into the second topic of Uttara Kanda. There is one part that is very moving, and you will see what part it is. So the next day, Rama, he is now the king. He's woken up with beautiful bhajans and kirtans. So everyone is singing so sweetly. The best singers are singing for him. And they praise the Lord's qualities, the beauty, his pastimes. It's always a good thing to wake up thinking about the Lord's pastimes and names and all that. It's always good. It's always good to do that. So Rama wakes up pleasantly. He gives all the songsters some gifts. He conducts his morning rituals. He enters the royal assembly with full pomp and splendor. He sits on the throne. his three brothers are standing right next to him. They're ready to do his bidding. There are multiple kings, Sugriva, Vibhishana, Hanuman, and others are also there in the assembly. He's so happy. He's so happy when he sees all of his friends next to him. And many happy days pass. After some time, he tells King Janaka. So this is the first time we see Janaka after Sita Rama Kalyanam. So in Balakand, we saw King Janaka. Of course, throughout, we see that Sitama is referred to as Janakatmaja, Janaki, Vaidehi, Maithili. We see that multiple times, but Janaka appears only right now. So after Sita Rama Kalyanam, this is when King Janaka appears. So they spent 12 years in Ayodhya, 14 years in the forest. So that is 26 years. So 26 years later, we are seeing King Janaka at the moment. Now, I was questioned whether Janaka met Sitama before this. And my answer, so that is, did Janaka come to Ayodhya, or did Rama and Sitama go to Mithila? So did Janaka see Sitama, his precious daughter, anytime within these 26 years? Frankly, the answer is I don't know, because Valmiki has not mentioned it. Maybe they did, because after all, Janaka is one of the vassal kings of King Dashratha, and he's also King Dashratha's very close friend as well. So it's likely that he came, but there is no conclusive proof. It's just it is a very it's a very good guess that he did, but I don't know for certain. Then Rama tells Janaka, "You are the one who is there to guide the four of us." So look at the humility of the Lord. He is now the emperor of the world. He has done the world's most impossible task, and that is to kill Ravana. He has done that. The Devatas have praised him. The world knows that Brahma himself has said that you are Narayana. The world knows it. And yet, look at his humility. He says, Janaka, you are the one who is guiding all four of us. This is the immense humility of the Lord. And we should never forget this quality, and we should try to be as humble as possible. And one of the qualities of a Vaishnava is extreme humility. One of the qualities of a Vaishnava is humility. And it's not just that the Vaishnavas have this quality, the Supreme Lord himself has this quality. And that's why it's necessary for us to learn how to be humble from the Supreme Lord. And then he says that the Ikshvakus and the Mithila family, we are very tightly bound. And Bharata, he says, Bharata, you go with Janaka, and you go with Janaka, and you keep him, you place him in Mithila and come back. Rama bestows multiple jewels on King Janaka, but Janaka praises the beautiful manners of Rama, and then he says that let Sita and Urmila take all of these jewels. It's fine. And then King Ashwapati's son, Mother Kaikeyi's brother, Yodhajit was there. And then he tells Yodhajit, please go, because my grandfather might be thinking about you. And therefore, Lakshmana, you go with our uncle Yodhajit, and you drop him off in Girivraja. So Lakshmana, Yodhajit says that, I'm happy for all the gems and everything to be in Ayodhya. Then Yodhajit and Lakshmana leave. Then Rama embraces his friend Pratardana, who is the king of Kashi, and thanks him. You helped Bharata make all the arrangements for the coronation. I am very grateful to you. Then he asks him, can you please return to Varanasi? Then he speaks to the 300 assembled kings that Ravana was killed only because all of them wished him very well. And they say that hearing that Sita Ma was kidnapped by Ravana, Bharata invited the kings and they all arrived at Ayodhya to lend their help. But it was not necessary. And it has been a very long time since they left their country. So it is the time that they all went back. So this clearly shows that Bharata had plenty of spies, and he kept track of the Lord's movements and everything. So it's quite likely that the spies, they asked the sages. So these are not bad spies; these are good spies. The spies asked the sages, and the sages said that it's over here and there, and and so he was able to trace. He was able to trace the movement. So now we might question: so how come Bharata needed Hanuman to tell him that Lord Rama is returning? Because as we saw, it was only 2 days were remaining. Only 2 days were remaining, and therefore spies are not that quick. They will take some time to run on the to go on the horses or something like that. It'll take them some time, and that's why Hanuman was sent, because Rama was certain that Bharata's spies would not have told him on time that he's returning. Had it taken him like about a few months to slowly walk back, Bharata would have been on the know. But because Rama flew to Ayodhya, because Rama flew to Ayodhya, it was necessary for Hanuman to come and inform. It was necessary for Hanuman to come and inform Bharata. But it is very clear that Bharata knew that something was happening. Bharata knew that Sita Ma was kidnapped, and so he collected his friends, the people who are very close to the Ikshvaku dynasty. He collected them and he kept them close by, but he was waiting for Rama's Padakas to give him that order. He was waiting for those Padakas to say, okay, I need you right now, so can you please come? So without the Padaka's permission, Bharata would never leave Ayodhya unprotected. He would never leave there. And that's the reason why we had plenty of kings who were there in the coronation, and they were all there with the full military attire and everything. They were all ready, waiting to go into battle for Lord Rama. But Rama did not need that service from them at that moment. He did not need that service. That service of helping him during the war went to Vanaras. It went to the Devata's incarnations. And that's the way it is. Um, uh, and and so the kings say the biggest gift that we can ever think of is the fact that Sitama is now reunited with you, and you have killed Ravana, the tyrant. You have killed him, and they say, Rama, please keep us in your heart. And then they all return to their respective kingdoms. See, Rama is there in all of our hearts. Sarvesachaham Hridaya Sannivishto. In every single heart, or in every heart of all the living entities, Lord Rama is there. He's there. He's never disappeared. He's always there. And now these kings are praying, Rama, please keep us. Rama, please keep us in your heart. So the Lord will be there in our hearts. That's because of his supreme love for us. But it is more necessary for us to find a spot in Rama's heart. And that happens only with bhakti. Look at what he did with Garuda. Garuda did not say, Rama, I want to shine, so just do something. No. But because of that love that he has for Garuda, he he thought about Garuda and he thought, okay, there is this Nagpash. Okay, I'm going to get myself bound by it so that Garuda can come and serve me. So it is not necessary for of course, the Lord is always going to be in our hearts. That's a different thing. But it is more important for us to serve the Lord in such a way that we remain in His heart. And they were saying that we couldn't serve you in battle. It's so we are feeling so sad that we couldn't serve you. We and they came back to their countries. Rama had gifted them beautifully. They came back to their countries with Rama's gifts, and they in turn had given him conveyances, horses, elephants, sandals, ornaments, jewels, and beautiful things. And Rama, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna, they come back with gifts from all of these wonderful kings as well. And then he gives his friends, Sugriva, Vibhishana, and other Rakshasas and Vanaras. Rama places Angada and Hanuman on his lap. This is the same Hanuman who carries the Lord. Imagine Rama being so kind that he takes a servant, places him on his lap, and he hugs them and says, Sugriva, Angada is your son, and Hanuman is a counselor. He reminds him, Angada is your son. He doesn't say Angada is your nephew. He says that Angada is your son. And Hanuman is your minister. He's your best friend. Hanuman is there for you. There is a reason why he reminds him. And this will be apparent only in the end of Uttara Kanda. So just remember that Lord Rama said this to Sugriva. Just remember. And then what does Rama do? He takes jewels from his own arm. So look at it. They're getting direct Mahaprasadam. They're getting direct Mahaprasadam. So Rama takes jewels from his own arm, and then he gives them to Angada and Hanuman. And then he looks at Neel, Kesari, Kumuda, Gandhamadhana, Sushena, Panasa, Mainda, Dvivida, Jambavan, Gavaksh, Dhumra, Balimuka, Prajagna, Saunada, Dadimuka, Indrajanu, and others. And he says, just as how Sugriva is my friend, similarly, all of you are too. Similarly, all of you are too. And then he gives them untold wealth and garments and embraces them. But why? Because we've already seen that Rama's embrace is more precious than anything else. So he embraces Angada and Hanuman. He embraces Jatayu. He embraces Jatayu. He embraces Garuda, and he embraces all of these very wonderful wonderful Vanaras as well. He does that. And the Vanaras live in Ayodhya for about a month. Vanaras live in Ayodhya for about a month. They are very happy. They are Rama has given them the best of fruits and roots and honey and all that. So they are very happy. They spend slightly more than a month, but because of their love for Rama, it looks as if it is just one small, tiny little time. And they're so happy. They're so happy that they are with Rama. They've seen Rama in that hermit clothes and matted hair and covered with dust and all that. And now they are seeing him resplendent and they love it. They are so happy. Even in that hermit garb, Rama was extraordinarily beautiful. And even now he is extraordinarily beautiful. But it's so nice. It is so nice to see the Lord decked in all jewels and fine clothes and everything. It's a very nice thing to see. After this, after some time, so it's slightly more than a month. So so Rama was coronated in Chaitra Masa. So that means that around Vaishak Masa, so like 1 month later, that is when Rama says, Sugriva, you please go back. You please go back to Kishkinda. And then and then he embraces Sugriva again and again. Then he turns to Vibhishana and says, Vibhishana, you please go back to Lanka and you rule the Rakshasas. The Rakshasas are famed for being very adharmic, but because you're here, remove that blot and make them very dharmic as well. And then he says, Vibhishana, remember me, please. No, he says that. Now, when look at the humility of the Lord. Look at the humility. Now, hearing these words, everyone is saying, Rama, your qualities, look at your wonderful qualities. They all praise him. And then Hanuman says, Rama, I want a boon. What is a boon, my dear Hanuman? May I always revere you with love. May my devotion to you remain unshaken. May my mind not be attached to anything else. And as long as life is there in my body, I want to hear the story of Rama. And let this not be proven otherwise. And may I always hear Apsaras reciting your glories. And if there is any anxiety, which is like a cloud, it would all just disperse, just as how wind disperses clouds. When I listen to your stories, all anxiety will disappear. This is the boon that he seeks. He doesn't ask, Hanuman doesn't ask for the wealth or the three worlds or anything. Sitama could have given that to him, and still Hanuman would not have been happy. All he asks for is devotion. See, bhakti in the spiritual world, bhakti is also a form. Bhakti also has form. Mukti also has form. Mukti is always praying to bhakti. So liberation is not the goal of life. Look over here. Hanuman did not say, Rama, I want to be liberated from this cycle of birth and death. That is a good starting point. Liberation is a good starting point. We need to think about the fact that we are in this material world. We're going in a cycle again and again, again and again and again and again. So when exactly is that cycle going to end? The cycle ends only with mukti. The cycle ends with mukti. So we shouldn't want to be in this material world again and again and again and again. The cycle ends with mukti. But even greater than mukti is bhakti. More precious than mukti is bhakti. And the Lord doesn't give bhakti to everyone. Because when a jivatma gets bhakti, pure unadulterated bhakti, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about sakama bhakti. I'm talking about the purest unadulterated form of bhakti. then at that time the Lord gives himself to the bhakta. He gives himself. And therefore, bhakti is very rare. Bhakti is extremely rare. Mukti is very easy. Compared to that, mukti is very easy. But bhakti is very difficult. So in one of the scriptures, it is mentioned that mukti is always saluting people who have bhakti. Mukti is saluting people. So the Lord will give mukti like this. Within one snap of a finger, he can give mukti. For him, it is nothing at all. But to give bhakti, it is very difficult, because the Lord will give himself away to the bhakta. He will give himself. And Hanuman asks for bhakti. Rama, my faith in you should be unshaken. And remember, this is the precursor for the Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, Tatra Tatra Kritamastakanjalim, Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, Marutam Namata Rakshasantakam. Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, wherever the glories of Lord Rama is sung, Tatra Tatra Kritamastakanjalim, in those places with his head bowed down. So we give Pushpanjali. So we offer flowers. Hanuman offers his head. He won't do any ordinary thing. Hanuman gives his head to the Lord. He did Mastakanjali. Next, Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, with his eyes full of tears. Maratam Namata Rakshasantakam, with his eyes full of tears, head bowed down, and over there, he's listening to the story of Lord Rama. So in the past month, we have been reciting Valmiki Ramayana regularly. This will still continue for another couple of days before we finish off Uttara Kanda. Remember that you're not staying alone and you're listening to it. No, Hanuman is there right next to us. Right now, this second, I guarantee Hanuman is right now with you. Right now. This second, he is with you. Why? Because we have spoken Valmiki Ramayana. We have spoken the authentic version of Ramayana. Therefore, Hanuman loves it and he is right next to you. This is my 100% guarantee. Because our scriptures say so. Whenever the bona fide version of the Lord's pastimes are spoken, in those places, Hanuman is going to be there. And we have spoken bona fide version. We have spoken bona fide versions. So, Hanuman is right out here. He's right next to you. Right this second, he's next to you. So, Hanuman doesn't want anything but to always listen to the glories of Rama. So, Prahlad Maharaj gives the nine devotional processes. So it starts up with Shravanam, Kirtanam, and this leads to Vishnu Smaranam. For Hanuman, it is Sita Rama Smaranam. Another point to note is that Hanuman himself says that he wants to hear the Apsaras sing Ramayana. So some false traditionalists say that women should not speak Ramayana. That is not true. These are not correct, because Hanuman is saying that he wants to always listen to Ramayana. So Apsara's voices are very sweet and they sing very beautifully. And therefore, he wants to hear Ramayana again and again and again and again and again. The only qualification for speaking is bhakti. And Lord Rama has multiple female devotees: Mother Sita, Kausalya, Ayodhyavasi, Shabari, Sarma, Trijata, Tara, Mandodari. So many female devotees are there. Mandodari is not a full devotee though. She did praise Lord Rama, but she was envious of Sita Ma. So Mandodari is not a full devotee, but at least Rama was there for all of them, and all of them praised the Lord. The Apsaras are constantly singing Valmiki Ramayana, therefore Hanuman constantly wants to hear them as well. Okay, and so we need to remember that Hanuman even went to the bedchambers of Ravana, and he was not at all swayed, completely uh, completely unmoved by female association, because he has that that um, that level of bhakti towards the Lord. Now Rama lovingly embraces. I found this picture and I started crying, by the way. I just loved it. So Rama embraces Hanuman and says, I give you my boon. I give you this boon. So Rama gives bhakti to Hanuman. And he says, Hanuman, you have done so many services for me, and I'm indebted to you for all of them. There is a very beautiful bhajan that was written by Tulsidas. I don't always recommend Tulsidas for everything, but in this case, because he sings primarily events that took place in Valmiki Ramayana, this is okay. There is one song called Kapi Se Urena Ham Nahi, wherein Lord Rama is describing Hanuman's beautiful service to Bharata. Bharat bhai kapi se urin ham nahi. It's very beautiful. And over there he says, I am never going to be out of debt with for the various services that Hanuman has performed. I'm never going to be out of debt. And Hanuman doesn't really care about anything. All he wants is bhakti from Lord Rama. And Rama gives himself over and over and over again. You have me. I'm embracing you. You have me. And then he takes this beautiful chain of sapphires, and that's why I said I love this picture, because even the chain of sapphires is here. He took his beautiful chain of sapphires from his neck and he placed it on Hanuman's neck. Sitama gave a necklace of pearls, and Rama gives a necklace of sapphires, blue sapphires. So Rama is blue in color, and he gives a blue necklace. Sitama is very bright. She has a pearl-like glow about her, and she gives the pearl necklace to Hanuman. And uh, and Hanuman wears it. He's very happy about it. And then all the Vanaras, they bow down and they leave. And then before they all go, Rama, Sugriva, and Vibhishana, all three of them hug each other, and all of them are crying. Imagine what they have gone through. Rama was there when Sugriva had nothing, absolutely nothing. He had 4 friends. He was timid. He was shy. He was living in exile. He was chased by his own brother. He was chased by his own brother. He was chased, and he was living in almost like an exile. He had lost his wife, he had lost his wealth and everything. Rama came and gave him everything. Vibhishana was kicked out by his own brother. He was kicked out because he had the courage to tell his brother that you are wrong. You shouldn't have kidnapped Sitama. For that courage, he was kicked out. He was ostracized, constantly being referred to as a traitor. Vibhishana, he saw his entire family die in front of his eyes. He saw his entire family die. His nephews, his friends, previous friends, nephews, his brothers, his ministers, close associates, saw all of them die. And then Rama gave him everything again. So, two lost souls, and Rama was there to lift them up. And Rama just thinks about all the services that Sugriva and Vibhishana have done for him. So much so that he tells Sita Ma through Hanuman, Vibhishana Sahayena, Vibhishana Sahayena. So the same thing Hanuman tells Bharata as well, Vibhishana Sahayena. Then Bharata comes and tells Vibhishana, Vibhishana, because of your help only, Rama and the Vanaras were victorious. The world called him a traitor. Even now, foolish people call him a traitor. Foolish people who do not understand Dharma, who do not understand the Lord's love, they call him a traitor. But despite all of that, Vibhishana was there. He was plucked from nothing and he was given everything. And what can they give in return for all of this? All of them just hug each other, weep, shed tears. Imagine what great bhaktas they are, that Rama is going to cry for them. That Rama cries for them. Sure, bhaktas might cry for the Lord. This has happened so many times. But imagine the greatness of the bhakta, that the Lord will shed tears for them. He shed tears for Sitama. He shed tears for Lakshmana. He shed tears for Dasharatha. And he shed tears for Sugriva and Vibhishana. Great, great bhaktas. See, Rama is usually portrayed as very stoic. He doesn't show emotions and all that. That is not correct. Rama is very emotional because he's a person, he's very emotional. Rama is very emotional. And look at this. And then all of them, they return home. This is including Hanuman. Rama doesn't ask Hanuman to stay back in Ayodhya with him. He doesn't do that. Hanuman is also sent to Kishkinda along with Sugriva because his service is not yet done. Hanuman still has one major service to do. One major service, and we will reveal it only by the end of Uttara Kanda. So in the meanwhile, this is not so right now Rama is about 39 years old. It is not as if till the very end he is not going to see his friends again. No, 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 no. We are going to see him. We are going to see the friends very soon. We are going to see Vibhishana and Sugriva. We are going to see them very soon. We are going to see Hanuman. We are going to see them all very soon. So this is not the end. We shouldn't worry. So now Rama and Rama has said goodbye to the Vanaras and the Rakshasas, and he lives with his brothers. So one day, so if you remember in Yuddha Kanda, Rama had said, "Oh Pushpaka, why don't you go back to Kubera?" So now that Kubera says that Pushpaka, no, 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 you belong to Lord Rama. So you go back to Lord Rama. So now Rama listens to Pushpaka and says that Pushpaka says, Kuvera told me that I should be with you. So now Rama says, okay, I accept you. I accept you. But Pushpaka, you roam wherever you want. You roam wherever you want, but whenever I think about you, I want you here. Is that okay? And Pushpaka says, okay. So this is very similar to how Rama dealt with the astras that Vishwamitra gave him. So when Vishwamitra gave him those beautiful astras, the Gandharvas astras, the Pishachas astras, Devatas astras, Naga astras, and all of those things. When Vishwamitra gave so this is the shul, this is the clubs, this is the mace, all of those things. When Vishwamitra gave him all of those weapons, they took bodily forms, and they stood right in front of Rama, and they said, "We are all subservient to you. Tell us what you want." So Rama said, "You go wherever you want. When I call you, you please come to me." And then that's it. See, even when we take shelter of the Lord is not going to hold on to us like tight grip. He will never do that to us. He will never do it. So it's not as if, okay, now you have taken shelter of me, I'm going to suffocate you. No, he never does something like that. So he gives the Jivatma a limited freedom. And all he says is, whenever I think about you, you come to me. That's it. So why aren't we taking the shelter of Lord Rama? That is the question. When are we going to do it? That is the question. What is preventing us from taking the shelter of Lord Rama? Right now, this instant, this second, we can take the shelter. We can do it. There is nothing that is preventing us except for our own selfish desire to enjoy material opulence. This is the reason why we are not taking the shelter of the Lord. Our own selfish desire to enjoy independent of the Lord. This is why we are not taking the shelter. So, and that is wrong. We should always take the shelter of the Lord. So, Pushpaka, this is also not the last time that we are going to see Pushpaka. We will see Pushpaka again. We will see Pushpaka again. So, we are not saying complete goodbye to Pushpaka right now. So now Rama asks Bharata, how is the kingdom going on? How is everything happening? So Bharata says, you were installed about a month ago, and since then there has not been a single disease. The aged animals have not died. Ladies give birth to children. Citizens' happiness has always increased. Happiness has increased. The rains are pouring down when they have to pour. The winds are blowing when they have to blow. And all the citizens are praying that they will always have Rama as the king. This is the attitude of a bhakta. The attitude of a bhakta is that Rama is going to rule them. And they are subjects of Rama. They are servants of Rama. And therefore, Rama can do whatever he wants with them. And that's okay. Rama can do anything that he wants with them, and that is perfectly fine. How many times do we think like this? How many times do we think like this? Rama, I am your puppet. You move me how you want. I am your toy. I am your toy. You can do whatever you want with me. How many times do we say this to Lord Rama? Or how many times are we willing to be ruled by the Lord? How many times? I've always heard, oh, Rama Rajya is perfect. Yes, Rama Rajya is perfect. Everything that Rama does is perfect. So why wouldn't his rule be perfect? So politicians will say, I'm going to get Ram Rajya in your state, in your constituent. Okay, that is great, but how do you intend to do that? I intend to do it by splitting up a state and religion. So they won't speak about Lord Rama, and still they want to have Rama Rajya. How? How is it possible? In Uttara Kanda, in Yodhajit, we saw Ramo Ramo Rama iti prajanam bhavan kata. The people had only one topic of conversation. Ramo Ramo Rama. So in Yodhajit, Valmiki is saying, this is how Rama's rule is. Over here, Bharata is saying, same thing. Same thing. It's absolutely the same thing. There is no difference. The winds are blowing when they have to, the flowers are blooming when they have to, the fruits are falling when they have to, the rains are the sky is raining when it has to. There is plenty of water, plenty of food. There is no calamity, no envy. There is nothing. It's so perfect. It's so beautiful. Everything is wonderful. Why? Everything is wonderful not because, by some magic. It is not by magic. Everything is wonderful because there is 24/7 Sri Rama Katha going on. 24/7. The people have only one thought in their brain, and that is the glorification of Lord Rama and Sitama. They don't have anything else. And because of this, everything is perfect. So the perfection was not the goal. The goal was the elevation of the consciousness. The goal is to elevate our consciousness to such a degree that we don't have a single thought in our brain other than Sita and Rama. When we do this, when the consciousness is elevated, surrounding is also going to be automatically fine. We don't need to pray, oh Varuna, pour down the rains, oh Indra, do this, oh Vayu, blow over here, oh Surya, you be nice and gentle. We don't need to pray like that. Nothing. We don't have to do it. All we need is to elevate our consciousness. So much so that we don't think about anyone but Rama and his bhaktas, of course. So Rama, he doesn't like it when he's thought of in isolation. We have already studied that. Rama is Rama with Sita, his brothers, with Hanuman, with Sugriva, with Vibhishana, with Jambavan, Nal, Neel, all of them put together. Rama is with his huge gang. He has his own posse. So when we think of Rama, we shouldn't think of just one person Rama. We should think of Rama with full bhaktas surrounding him. Then he is very happy. Oh, okay, this is how I like to be thought of, and this Jivatma is thinking of me the way I like to be thought of, and so okay, it's all good. So the consciousness should be elevated. It is not an elevation of byproducts of bhakti. Bhakti will always come with byproducts. Bhakti will always come with byproducts. So, byproducts are not the reason why we should have bhakti. Bhakti is because we want to love Rama more and more and more and more and more. So, listening to this, Rama is very happy. Why? Because his children are thinking about him. They're not thinking about nonsense. They're thinking about the only thing that makes sense, and that is Rama. And therefore, he's very happy. And now, this is another major topic. So, Lavanasura's killing, no one really thinks that it is very controversial. But they think that Sitama going to hermitage of Valmiki is very controversial. They think that Shambhuka's killing is very controversial. And they think that Sitama's entry into the earth is controversial. Let me tell you, none of these three things are controversial. None. Not one. However, we will stop right now because it's time. And let's go on to Mangalam Koslendraya, Mahaniya Gunabde, Chakravarti Tanujaya, Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Sitaram.
Jai Sita.